Hey, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Tom Stewart. I'm with Liz Trotter. Our guest today is Chris Willatt, and this is Smart Business Moves.
Woohoo! Hey, Chris.
Hey guys.
I feel like I haven't seen you in forever, Chris.
Man, I haven't seen anybody in forever.
Yeah.
Been a little busy with my new baby.
Oh, I know you don't like to go like all social with your baby stuff, but you want to share anything?
Yeah, her name's Lily. She is 10 weeks old and she's doing great. She's like 2 weeks ago she started smiling and
Oh,
now she's trying to laugh.
oh,
And it's been tough, but it's getting really cool now.
yeah. Oh, are you guys starting to get a little sleep again?
We're doing pretty good. We have a lot of support around here. So
That's good.
yeah.
You're the one, Chris. I just remembered. You're the one that taught me about night nannies.
Isn't that cool? It's amazing. I forget who. I mean, it's been around for a while, right? But like, buy back your time.
I did not know that was a thing
Yeah.
until you had.
What did I miss here? What in the world is a night nanny?
Yes, Tom, you are going to be amazed. You'll need this for Caroline.
This didn't used to exist, did it? Like you just have somebody come over at night so that you sleep, right? Because that's the hardest part of having a new baby is not sleeping, and that's where the anxiety and all of the hardship comes from. So have somebody come over and sleep.
Wow. So it's
Isn't
like
that crazy?
it's like an in-home caregiver,
Yeah.
but for children.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they feed them, change them in the middle of the night. They do all the things. Is that not a most amazing thing you've ever heard of?
You guys are getting soft, Chris.
You
You don't.
you're not wrong. It is I almost feel bad when people are like, isn't this the worst like thing, like how hard it is? And I'm like, well, yeah, it's pretty bad.
I tell people all the time, it shouldn't be. This is not a thing that has to be hard anymore. Night nannies.
Right.
That's the
That's
thing.
amazing.
Get one. I know.
And now I can enjoy my time with my kids. I can focus on my business. I can ride my bike. Like life's still good.
But are you riding now?
Not right now. I have a lot of projects going on. So I have Alpine Maids, which is my maid service here in Denver. I am also a partner at Clean Capital Partners with Brian Knoll, Elena Ledoux, and Caleb Winninger, and we are venturing into carpet cleaning. So we're gonna take a carpet cleaning brand nationwide over there. So life's
That's cool.
I saw something on Facebook. It's a brand, has something to do with a monkey.
Yeah, we're the Carpet Monkeys. It's kind of a cool story, so I'll make it brief. But this guy Rick has been operating this company for years and years. His grandfather was the founder of Chuck E. Cheese, and so Chuck E. Cheese, right?
Yeah.
His grandfather was the founder, and then sold it to the guy who franchised it and took it nationwide. So missed the boat, and Rick started Carpet Monkey with big dreams, and now we've come in as partners to help grow it and make those dreams a reality.
So you're going to do with Carpet Monkey what what happened? It's going to be the next Chuck. You're going to be the Chuck E. Cheese of carpet cleaning.
Exactly. That's the goal.
Wow, that's awesome. So where are you in the process right now, Chris?
Oh man, such early stages. But we have a sales process. We have Slack implemented, right? So we have the whole team talking to each other. We have a VA in who is handling all customer service, sales, a lot of day-to-day operations. So we've really come in and put this company on autopilot very quickly.
Nice.
And now we're going to roll out a website and get some leads in.
All right. I have a carpet truck I'm selling. I'll hook you out. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm not kidding, but you got other things to worry about than a carpet truck. But you guys, you haven't seen Chris in a long time, but you're gonna fix that here in a couple of weeks, aren't you?
Yeah. At our the sales workshop that
Yes.
we're doing at Laura's in Fort Collins.
I'm so glad I saw that. I was like, oh, let's go. Right. Because I missed you at scale. There's no way I'm getting to across.
No.
And he couldn't do scale with that brand new baby. Are you kidding me? No way. Yeah. So that's exciting. I'm excited to see you there. That'll be fun. Sales workshop.
You're still taking reservation or registrations for this, right?
Yeah, we sure are. If you're in a circle, I'm sorry. I know your links are not working for your discount. I'll have that out today. Jess, if you're here, I know she hit me up again just today. Sorry, it's coming, y'all. It's coming. I'll write it down again.
So this is May 30th and 31st.
Yep, 30th through the 31st.
This is in Fort Collins, just right down the road a bit from Denver. About an hour and a half down the road, I guess.
I'd say so. Awesome, beautiful little city. It's just like right in the foothills. You see the mountains behind it, and it's like it's a cool town. I don't
It really is.
I don't know what it's like. It's unlike anywhere else.
It's very like kind of nichey, kitschy.
Yeah.
The downtown area is just, it's cool. It's got a great vibe.
Yeah.
The people are cool. The restaurants are cool.
The Colorado State University is there, so it's a big college town, and you can't. How's the saying goes? You can't swing a dead cat without hitting a brewery.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like the idea about swinging.
Yeah, I was going to say that's probably not PC in 2024, is it?
Probably okay as long as the cat's dead.
Yeah, but why would you swing one to begin with? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I don't know.
It came from something.
Swing a hose. Swing a hose.
Yeah.
We'll have to
swing a vine.
We'll have to ask Chat GPT where that came from.
What's more PC?
Okay, there's an event in June 9th. It's a Sunday. It is at Gosha Barron's office. It's a ISSA residential regional event. It's going to be some really cool stuff happening there as well. They're going to make me click on another button. Obviously, Gosha's going to be.
Have you been to Gosha's, Chris?
No, I've not been outside of my house for a while.
That's right. I forgot. Yeah. Your office is amazing.
That's cool.
Amazing.
Chicago?
Yeah.
Chicago, right. RJ Gosha. Dr. Gavin's going to be there doing his thing where, he talks about measuring clean. He'll have ATP meters, black lights, a few other gadgets. It's a really cool presentation. He did it in DC when we were up there in April. Ricky Regalado and RJ will be speaking. MaidCentral has Austin there. Actually, I think Alvin is actually going to be the one presenting that. We'll have to get that changed, but he'll be doing an overview with some AI hacks and Philman. He spoke up in DC as well, and he's got like a VA service, and he's doing some innovative things there. So that's a good thing on a Sunday. And following on Monday, there's going to be do what?
Who was that last one with the VA service?
Philemon
Zeffirino.
No. He's I met him for the first time up at DC in April, and he's doing some pretty cool stuff. He's got a cleaning business as well, but his discussion here's got a VA service, and it's kind of cool. On Monday we're going to do a full.
Sorry,
I'm sorry, Liz.
I'm sorry. I was talking over you. Please.
We're going to do a full day event on Monday, June 10. This is going to be on artificial intelligence, and it's going to be tools that are out there available that you can be using in your cleaning business today for support, for marketing, for writing copy, putting together presentations. There's a whole suite. Bring your computer. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff together, and we're going to be getting into AI agents at a higher level. We're going to log into some stuff and show you some stuff and give you some tools. The idea is not that you're going to leave there with a chat bot to do your sales, but you will leave there, in addition to having a long list of tools you're going to take back to your office and give to your staff, you will have a pretty good understanding of the concepts involved in developing AI agents. So as CEOs of your business, you're going to want to, at some point in time, explore that, and you'll be a much more educated shopper based on those discussions as well. And that will be Monday the 10th.
I see it's 20.
Go ahead.
It's 25 days away. You might leave with the chat bot. It's moving fast.
Yeah, it's true. That's a promise that I don't want to make, but anything can happen, right?
I promise it's going to be good.
What's an AI agent, Tom?
It's like a chat bot. It's it's something that you could either ask a question and it'll give you an answer, or it's something that is looking at your data and making suggestions to you. Sometimes they're doing things for you without you even having to ask it.
Ooh.
And it's
nice.
Which it's crazy when you think about how things are going to be changing over the next couple of years.
I wasn't planning on going there, but I might have to go. I'm feeling like if I don't go to this stuff, I'm going to get so far behind the curve that it's going to take too long to catch up. Like, you have to stay on top of this stuff so that it doesn't just go past you, where, how some people just can't even get on a phone anymore. Mm-hmm. Right? There's it's too hard. Getting on the internet is hard for old people. So I don't want to be can't use AI because it's too complicated.
There's I know that there's still people out there running, meaningful cleaning businesses that haven't fully, bought into the idea. They think it's kind of a down the road thing, and it's not real at the moment. But you spend a little time studying this, and I promise you there are tools that you would be using in your business, your team would be using in your business on a daily basis, and you'll be getting better outcomes in less amount of time. And you're right, Liz, it's only going to grow. And at the heart of it, that's why we're doing this, because we've been, the overarching goal is to professionalize the house cleaning industry, and technology is going to be a meaningful part of it. And I want to say this presentation isn't directly tied into MaidCentral. It's going to be valuable by anybody that's running a house cleaning business. I mean, there's some things that you can do that you can integrate with MaidCentral, but the largest part of this is software agnostic.
Yeah. And you guys are integrating it into MaidCentral, right?
Yeah, you can write copy and build templates and so forth using ChatGPT now.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're just going to get it as a byproduct anyway, but it does play into the whole tech stack, right? I mean, if you're using things in conjunction with, or taking anything out of MaidCentral or putting it in, it's just full process.
So Chris, God, you haven't, I guess you've been busy with kids and stuff. You haven't
business.
Yeah, your businesses. You haven't been on Smart Business Moves for a minute, have you?
I can't remember. I mean, it was years ago.
We might have been having COVID back then. Who knows?
In the middle of COVID.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Would you mind taking a minute and just kind of giving your background, because you had an interesting career before you ever got in the house cleaning industry, and how all this happened?
Yeah, definitely. Let's see. So 1987, I was a little further ahead. So before I was a maid, I think it's a good place to start. I used to be a geologist. Had a turbulent youth, found myself as a geologist. So somebody who studies rocks and subterranean structure. I was working in oil and gas, and I did some really cool stuff. It wasn't very fulfilling. I read a Reddit post that so many people who came into the maid service industry read by Rohan. So huge shout out to Rohan, and thought, man, I don't really know how to do a lot other than study prehistoric rocks, but I bet I can start a maid service.
A great precursor to a maid service, right?
Yeah. But I mean, it's true. So like at the time, oil and gas was on the downswing. There were layoffs. It's a hard job. Had some ethical concerns. There's a lot going on there, and I thought, like, what can I do? Like, what do I know how to do? And I thought, man, not much. And in retrospect, looking back, I took a lot of valuable skills from that, right? As a geologist, I was taking massive data sets, and I was interpolating them and intertwining them and trying to make something out of them. And so that was a really valuable skill. Didn't know it at the time though. And so I thought, hey, I could probably clean houses. So I started a maid service. That was 2017 is when I like really jumped in full time. I was like, this is something. I'm gonna quit my job, talk to my wife, Alyssa, and was like, I'm crazy. I think I'm gonna do this. And she said, go for it. I think you can do it. Like, she's amazing. She's amazing. Fully supported me and went in.
Did she agree that you were crazy?
Of course.
She still knows now. So nothing's changed, right?
Go be crazy.
And so, yeah, that was Alpine Maids here in Denver, Colorado. I had my ups and downs. Liz was my coach. I don't know how soon, and I think like right away I found you guys and went to Foundations. And if you guys remember, that's when I lost my entire staff. And
we forgot, Chris.
Man, I didn't. So made it through that. About a year later, I lost.
Tell a story. I remember a one-on-one. You won't mind if I share this. And your strategy at the time was, help me put the wheels back on this thing so I can sell it.
Was it really? Wow.
Yeah. You were like, this is too hard. The chaos.
Yeah.
Of like grow, crash.
Yeah. I mean, and I was pushing so hard on that business. Like, come on, why don't you just go clean the houses? And yeah, I think it took me about 2 years to fully recover from that and just look internally and say, like, why did that happen? Why am I struggling so hard with this business? And that's good insight. I don't remember Foundations. I was so stressed. I think I blocked it out.
Everybody that was there remembers. We were just talking about it Victoria last week. Trisha Lake and Sarah were talking about, you remember when Chris was sitting on the couch and he lost all of his clients. He lost or all of his employees.
Yeah.
He lost just bam. And you were like a zombie.
I can't even
that bad.
Yeah, I think I was just sitting there like, that's good.
It's good. Yeah, we'll be fine. But you were right. You were fine. You were right.
I think what I learned about myself through that is, I need to look internally and figure out where the roadblock is, and it starts with me. And it was 100% mindset and empathy and looking at it through the light of my employees and thinking about them. And I had to make some huge personal shifts, which you guys helped me with a ton. And that was really a hard time, right? But I did it and I made those shifts and I'm still working on it. And I think like what I really learned through that process is like, I will just push out of stubbornness to accomplish things no matter what, even if it's to my detriment. Like, I've entered into paths that like I pursued for maybe too long. So I'm like, I'm gonna make this work no matter what. And my stubbornness, while it holds me back, can sometimes get me through a lot. And so where we are today at Alpine Maids is really building off of MaidCentral. I love your mission and vision to bring professionalism to the maid industry, and we're trying to elevate what it means to be a maid, and that helps keep me guided on, like, I've heard of companies who like call maids something other than maids, like cleaning professionals or tech. Was that from you guys?
Yeah, we do. But I love your perspective on this, because there's a school of thought out there that being a maid is maybe condescending or something, that it's not professional, but that doesn't really have to be that way, does it?
And cleaning professional is a great word. That's what they are, end of the day, right? Especially if we're professional and we're operating as a professional service and offering a professional product. But yeah, speaking to what you just said, I've asked a lot of people to say, hey, think of a maid. Who are you visualizing? And it's not always the most amazing picture that they're painting. And I've had employees who are embarrassed to go home and tell their family that I'm a maid.
Right.
And so we're completely digging in on that and saying, hey, you know what? We are maids. We're an extremely necessary service, especially in the economy that we're in right now. I don't know how much you guys have been talking about that. I assume quite a bit, but things are getting a lot tougher out there. And my experience in the home service industry, working with HVAC pros, plumbing businesses, is that they're on the decline. Leads are down, sales are down, right? When financing was, I won't get too far down this rabbit hole, right? But like, it's harder to sell some of these kind of necessary things, right? Like, we need heat here in Colorado. You need your pipes not to leak in your house. And we're not seeing that slowdown in the maid service industry. And I think that really speaks to how necessary of a service that we're providing to people. Like, the stress that we're relieving and the experience that we're providing to our clients, they're putting that ahead of home repair.
Yeah. I mean, Liz and I have been doing this for a while, and you roll the clock back 20 plus years. The paradigm was, professional house cleaning was a luxury, and maybe even an indulgence in some circles.
Yeah.
That if you needed to cut back financially on anything, that was kind of the first thing to go.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the way. There's a meaningful part of the population that doesn't think about it that way anymore.
It's a mindset shift, right? I mean, hey, I have a night nanny now. Didn't used to exist.
I know. I love it though. I mean, that is the way that things are going.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like that you're digging in. I mean, you have company name as Alpine Maids, so kind of more important to you. It's right. Yeah.
If that was a thing 20 years ago, I might have more kids. So maybe it's maybe it's a good thing.
You're welcome, Janice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we are into this call pretty deep. Did you get enough info about Chris there? Do you feel like you have?
I did. I'm sorry. There's one other thing though. So Chris, you do some coaching yourself, don't you?
I am. I'm a Conquer coach, and we do all home service businesses.
Okay.
We probably pull up that website too.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that your Carpet Monkeys, is that going right now? Do you want us to pull up?
Are you looking for franchisees at this point?
Yeah, what are you looking for?
Where we're headed is going to be doing exactly what we did for Rick, finding guys who are in the business, getting toward retirement, and want to be part of something bigger. And so we were able to deliver Rick pretty immediate financial freedom. and immediately roll him into a part of the business where he can really flourish and do the best work while we take care of all of the operations and making this thing bigger.
If someone was to reach out to you, Chris, about coaching, I've got the Conquer website I dropped in the chat. Is this the best way to reach you on that?
100%. You hit that apply now. Really, really solid coaching structure there. And my advice would be, please come check me out, but also look at all the other awesome coaches that are out there. Whoever you jive with, I think is going to be your best bet.
Yeah.
Okay, Liz, we're done. What do you want to talk about?
All right. Well, I know that a lot of people are wanting to hear about streamlining your sales cycle. That is the topic that we're talking about today, and it might take a little bit of time to get through that too. So now we can talk about that. That's all.
This is good. He'll bring this thing home.
Yeah. So, Chris, how did you want to start with this? Like, where do you want us to start? What do we want to tell people?
Let's see. I mean, where does the sales cycle start? I mean, it's like, where does it? I guess it's, I want a maid, right?
Yeah.
That's usually how people come in, right? I think usually people find us because they know that they want a maid. We're not like some businesses, you have to convince people that they want the thing, right? Like,
yeah.
House cleaning exists. Okay, people know this. They get to a point, the home's dirty, you don't have time, you want a maid. So,
and it's much more acceptable nowadays to hire somebody to clean your house just because you don't like it. You used to have the excuse of, I just don't have time, I'm so busy. But now I just don't like cleaning. All right, get a maid.
Yeah, I don't have memories of that, right? Like, I think coming up, people were just, I had a friend who had a maid and I'm like, oh, that's a thing? That sounds great. Let's do that, right? There was no shame, right? And like every once in a while, the in-laws come over and they're like, vacuum getting any use? And we're like, no.
Not ours.
Yeah.
Do you need one? You can use ours.
Yeah, so we don't have to like get past that so much. Like, definitely, it might depend on where you are, your market. Maybe you're in Vegas and there's a lot of retirees. But for the most part, like, hey, I want a maid.
So I'm gonna get one. All right.
What kind of sales? Like, let's see. When we're talking about the sales process, I mean, really, what does that boil down to? Like, get leads, connect with them, give them a pitch, and follow up.
Why you're the best. Yeah.
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 You give them a quote. You give them a quote in there somewhere, probably.
It's probably a good step, right? So, one thing we like to do is, been through a couple of different iterations of sales. I like to experiment, right? I have that scientific background. So we've turned off online booking before. We've like made online booking real simple, where it's like, just give us your address and like bedrooms and bathrooms and we'll make it work. And then we've gone super detailed, like, why don't you fill out a form like this long, right? So we've tried everything, and I think what I've found is that anything can work, and it really just depends on your product, right? So one thing I've been really focused on recently is like I think the tech word for it is product market fit.
Yeah.
But are we selling the maid service that people want? Right? Like I mentioned earlier, times are a little bit tougher. And when I went out and I looked at our competition, there's some pretty simple sales processes out there. I don't know if you've checked like Molly Maids or Mary Maids in your area, but they have it pretty streamlined. One thing that I noticed while going through their sales process was they don't clean the whole house. I forget which one it was, so don't quote me on it, but go look at the franchises, right? And it's like you sign up and you get this price and it's like $120. And I'm like, oh my God, how am I going to compete with $120? And then I'm like, wait a minute, we'll clean your bathroom, your main or your kitchen, your main bathroom, your living room, your dining room, and your main bedroom, and that's it. And I was like, oh, wait a minute.
Wow.
It's
And they weren't making, was that kind of like fine print stuff? You kind of had to work a little bit to get that?
if you're me, it's fine print. Some people might pay a little more attention, right? But yeah, in my opinion, it wasn't very straightforward, right? And so that's something I'm competing with right now. We're all competing with, right?
Yeah.
So with that, I have a question, Chris. So if you're looking at that and you're like, oh yeah, $120. Yeah, I absolutely want that. Do you then get an option to add on the other rooms?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not really like you have to
It's a
dig.
sales technique. They just
It's going to come to you.
Yeah. And I'll just say I got through the whole process and submitted the bid, right? Or submitted the quote before I realized, like, hey, wait a minute, that's why it's so cheap. Right. And then you have to talk to them. They call you and they're like, okay, we'll add these rooms on and da 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 da. I'm like, that's kind of a drawn out process, right? And I didn't go into it thinking very highly, right, of whichever chain that was, because you're getting me on the phone, but like now my emotions I'm putting a wall up here, right, emotionally, and I mean we're selling on emotion here, so hey, you just got me to put a wall up, and now I'm second guessing. Meanwhile, if we're doing the right thing, you'll have like 5 quotes from Alpine Maids sitting in your inbox. Like, here's the price. We're ready to come right now. And that's what we're really trying to go for. So when we're talking about simplifying the sales process, my mind goes to simplifying it for the customer. Is that what you guys mean? Or
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And also for yourself. When I'm thinking of streamlining, I'm thinking of start to finish, that it's kind of a straight path. That it doesn't have 50 different things that are happening. You're not kicking this person here, kicking them there, making this happen. Back in the day, it was hard to book a job to actually clean. Somebody would call your office, and then you would both look at your calendars and figure out when you could go to their house to look at their house.
Yeah.
And then you would go back to your office and figure out how much you were going to charge them. Yeah. And then you would call them again or send them an email. Usually call, back in the day, you would call them again and give them all of the different prices for all of the different things. And then they would hang up and they would go talk to whoever.
Yeah.
And that was normal back then, to go and talk to, everybody did that. And they would go and talk to whoever. And then they would call you back, and if they wanted you, they usually did. Yeah. It wasn't like a stalling technique. They called you back, and then you would you would say, okay, good. And then you would hang up the phone again, because you're going to call them when you have a date.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous, right?
And,
how many times did you get on the phone?
You go back far enough, there was no real CRM or nurture campaign, or you didn't even have emails for the most part. Yeah. You wouldn't even call. It was almost like taking orders at that point. Oftentimes you wouldn't even call them back. It's like, well, if you want us to clean for you, give us a call. If not, it's nice meeting you.
Yeah. I mean, in some ways that sounds kind of nice. Yeah.
Easier, more streamlined, right? Than
yeah. I mean, maybe the tech wasn't there, right? And the communication cycle took this long, right? Compared to this, but like, I bet you kept clients for a long time.
A really long time.
And the conversion rate on those free in-home, no obligation consultation, I think, was
or a home health audit.
70+%.
Wow.
Oh, way higher. No, I knew very few people that were below the 90s. Like, you go into a house, you're closing at 95. If you get into that house, bam.
Well, let's just do that. Oh, wait. There
Yeah.
has to be an issue nowadays, right?
It's 2024.
Ah, shoot. All right.
Although we do hear some people going back to some in-home estimates again. We're hearing that a little bit. Linda Cavazzo, she's at 98%.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you can't see as many people, right?
Sure.
Because you're going into each home, but you're closing at 98%. If
Where's
you get
Lisa?
enough leads,
Anybody
she's
know?
in Midlothian, Virginia.
Okay.
Tom,
Richmond. She's outside of Richmond. Yeah, that's very good.
Cool.
isn't it Midlothian? It's Midlothian.
It's outside of Richmond. It could be. I mean, it's a suburb of Richmond.
Linda, I'm right? It's Midlothian, Virginia.
Okay.
I'm feeling really like pat myself on the back here. I got like geography down here.
that's not your normal MO.
Yes, Midlothian. All right,
Got it.
that's right. Where's my gold star, Tom? Come on now.
That's I give you thumbs up.
That's like, but it's outside of Richmond, so that's not in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, he's right too. Outside of Richmond, animal care and control.
Okay.
98%, Linda. She closes 98% of the leads that she gets because she does in-home estimates.
Not necessarily the leads, because not 100% of the leads would turn into an estimate, but she's able to book and actually meet, because probably more than 2% of the booked in-home estimates don't happen for whatever reason. The person's not there, kind of that stuff happens.
And so if you're at 98%, I would imagine we're probably qualifying the lead. And I think that's where my sales process like hard starts, right? So I'm trying to figure out where we are. Like, okay, the leads are kind of marketing though, right? And like attracting people to the company. They already want, so by the time they're actually like reaching out to us, so now we want to see like, is this a lead we can do, right? 'Cause sometimes we'll get stuff like, oh yeah, it's a 20,000 square foot warehouse, and we're like, oh no, we only do residential house cleaning, right? So like, that's one way to really simplify the sales process for us. Like, I can make things really complicated, and you guys know this since you've worked with me over the years, right? But I have like two modes, right? Like, okay, real simple, like big picture zoomed out, and then like lost in the weeds trying to learn like computer programming before I'm like, wait,
not my job. Wait.
We could do a whole presentation on building automated campaigns or doing lead attribution in Google Analytics, and your head would be spinning. But that's not what we're doing today.
Yeah, and you need that stuff at some point as you scale, right? You need a marketing machine and sales machine. But one thing you can do is just say, what do we do, right? And like, I know at Alpine Maids, we do residential house cleaning, which means if an office calls, do we do offices? Nope. And even furthermore, I actually left out the most important word. We really focus on reoccurring residential house cleaning, right? So that big post-construction clean calls, and we're like, ooh, that's a good looking job. Like, but it takes a lot of time. We don't really know what it's not for us. Reoccurring residential house cleaning. Carpet Monkey, easy carpet upholstery cleaning. That's all we do, right? And does that mean like, let's say somebody calls, we have duct cleaning equipment, and they go, can you come clean our ducts? We'll go, sure, we can do it.
Yeah.
But we're certainly not going to prioritize it. We're not going to bump other like jobs that's our like core focus off of the schedule to do that. And so that's like, I would say that's the number one way that we simplify our sales process, is by saying, hey, this is our bread and butter. Like, we really want to help busy families. I have a word. I'm a little nervous to share it publicly. It's called dinkwads, because it just kind of sounds bad. But these are like, I don't know about your area, but they're like double income with kids and a pet, or dipwads. I forget what it was. We came up with a funny word for it, right?
I like dinkwad. I've never heard that.
I'm writing that down.
Double income parents with a pet.
Oh.
Wop.
Wop.
I don't know. Anyway.
The dog.
Yeah, and a dog, with the dog. That's what it was. You're better at language than I am. Thanks, Liz. And so that's what we're really focusing on, right? And so like, that just makes it so simple. Qualify the lead, right?
Yeah.
Is it something we can service? And hey, look, we all know that like sometimes times are tough. You need hours for your people. Take the business. If you need the business, take the business. But when things are good, focus on what you're really, really good at. So you're not wasting your time and energy chasing stuff that is going to get in the way. And so for qualifying leads, we're going to increase our close rate, right? If we focus everything at our niche and our specialty, we're going to close a lot more leads.
This was something we're going to be talking about at the sales workshop in Fort
Collins, Colorado, on May 31st, which is right around the corner. But there's still a few slots left. If you haven't registered, you might want to.
I have mine and our sales leader.
Tom, I really feel like you could write a blog post. I'm like, wow, he's good.
I have written a blog post before.
I do know that. The reason I brought that up is just today I was working with my what we call the GET growth execution tool, that our GET developer. And one of the things that we are looking at is everybody's stats and rank stacking all of the people. And one of the things that I noticed is that the top 7 closers in our group all are using our listing sales program. So I was like, all right, that's good. The very top of the list. And then the next one is not, but then the next 3 are again. So I'm like, well, this is good information right here. This program's working. So anyway, I was bringing that up because closing makes such a huge difference. If you can't close your sales, how many times though, Tom, and Chris, you too, with your coaching, I guarantee you run into the same thing. People are not closing. And what do they want to do? They want to spend more money.
Yeah.
We
need more leads. We need, bump up our ad spend.
Yeah.
100%. Need more leads. Whenever I hear need more leads, I hear need a sales process.
Yeah. Yeah. You gotta figure out what you're doing first. Well, first thing I look at is what's your close rate. If your close rate is like 10%, stop paying for leads that are going to go to other people, because you can't close this. All it means is you're going to pay for them to go, yeah, you're not the right person. I'm going to call somebody else.
Yeah.
So bad. So, all right. So the first thing is got to get good leads, right? Yeah. And so have a good lead flow system. So the leads are coming in.
Yeah.
And then
qualify the leads. Next up,
through your website, you said you can do it through your website, or
we do both. We do website, phone calls, just email. However, 99% of our leads come through our website, right? That's where all our marketing's targeted. We want you to see the pictures, to see what we offer you. And I think the next thing that we do to simplify the sales process is just have a value that we're pitching, right? So Alpine Maids is easy, professional, and caring. What's something that we can do that none of our competition is going to be able to replicate, right? And so like easy. Okay, let's make it easy for people to find us, to reach out to us. Like, and one way that we found this, right? Have you guys so I call it the value prop. It could be the unique 3, could be, there's different names, right? Yeah. Like
USP. There's so many different names for it. Yeah.
Yeah. I've worked with a lot of people who are like, well, I think this is what we are. And I think this is what we are. And I'll just go straight to their reviews and I'll start reading the reviews. And I'm like, hey, this is actually what you are.
This is who you are.
Yeah. Like, and a lot of the time it's great, right? I think like we as like entrepreneurs are like dreamers, and we're like, I want to be this and I want to be that. And it's like, hey, actually, you're already providing this amazing service and all of your clients are really happy with it. Like, why don't you just dig in?
Do more of that. Do more of what you're already doing really well.
Yeah. And so Alpine Maids is easy, professional, and caring. So we aren't a web rebuild. So I would say go to our website and you'll totally get it. It's pretty clear, but like we're pitching the same thing. On our website for reoccurring only, no, we do not do that. We definitely, quick story. Can I sidetrack? Okay.
Sure.
Oh man.
This is smart
It's smart
business
business
moves. You can
moves.
do whatever you want to do.
Oh,
There are no
really?
rules.
Oh, y'all are so easy. I love it. Okay. We tried to kill reoccurring service. It was like,
What? You tried to kill?
or I'm so sorry. We tried to kill
time.
one-time service,
One
right?
time.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And so we're
That
like,
makes
we're
so
so
much more sense.
I
focused.
knew what you meant.
Yeah.
Thanks. We're so focused on this reoccurring. Like, what if we got rid of one-time cleans? And I think we tried it for like 2 weeks, and then I realized, like, this is like if I walked into a restaurant and I was like, "Hey, I want dinner?" And they're like, "We don't really serve one-time dinners. Like, you have to buy 6 dinners at our restaurant, right?"
Yeah. You're not a regular. I've never seen you here before. Sorry.
Yeah, so we kind of tried it. I think it can work. I know it has worked for people.
Yeah.
It didn't really work for us, and I think a lot of it's lead flow. Like, we have a lot coming in, and just wasn't there. What we do is just price it. So it's all in the pricing. We price one-time cleans a lot higher. Especially moving cleans, one-time deep cleans. Those are the ones that are typically the most stressful for the company, the maids, the client, right? I mean, like, and we do want to help those clients. At the end of the day, I think we are maids, and like, while I want to focus on our reoccurring clients and like get to know them and be a part of their life and their family and offer them like this continued amazing experience, I also want to help people going through transition, whether it's moving. I mean, a lot of people get these deep cleans because of divorce. Maybe they just had a kid. Maybe their home's really dirty and they're stressed about it. We want to help them too, but we don't know what we're walking into. And I want to give them a good product. I want to give them a good experience. One thing that we used to do is we would quote a range. We'd say like, "Hey, it could be like $300 to $600. Well, we're easy, right? And so, like, if I'm the consumer, like, people did like that, but they liked the 300. They didn't always love the 600. Right? Everybody wants to be on the lower end of that range, never on the higher. And we found that we could relieve a lot more stress by just giving them a one price, even if it was higher. Another thing I've struggled with, and can segue into
All right,
this.
so I'm going to stop you real quick for everybody that wasn't really paying close attention. So he used to give a range 300 to 600. Now instead he gives a price, what, like 550, something like that?
Somewhere in that, I think we targeted like 90 percentile. Yeah.
All right, so 90 percentile. That's
550.
Yeah, 550. That's what I'm thinking, probably right around there.
Yeah.
So he's just giving them the 550 price, and most of the time he's making more money than he would have if he would have given the range, but they're happier. So don't forget that piece. What makes people happy is also what's going to make you more money so much of the time. All right, go on, Chris, keep going, all of it.
And that's the core of that one, right? Is like one price, make it simple, and
Easy.
People like that. It's so crazy,
Especially today.
Yeah,
people want things easy now,
right? Do an in-home estimate. No, they just want to get off the freaking phone, right? I think when we intake salespeople or anybody in our office, everybody in our office is a salesperson. They all take sales calls, right? What we find is they're often shopping with their own pocketbook. So you get that first client, right? What does that client say when we give them the price?
What? It's how much?
That's so expensive. I paid blah, blah, blah back in Cincinnati or Chicago.
Where I used to live, or my girlfriend pays, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then that person comes to you and they go, I think we're charging too much, right? The price is, and I think it's true because it's $500, and it's just, this one is really hard to imagine, but they're shopping with their pocketbook, right? And we have to be shopping.
Saying,
Right.
I
I
love
forget who I
that.
learned that from, but yeah, that was like one of those aha moments. And I'm like, oh yeah, you're shopping with your pocketbooks. When I started this
You
business,
need to change it to wallet, though. Nobody uses the term pocketbook anymore in 2024.
What? You're kidding me. When did
No,
that? I didn't get the memo. When did that happen?
no pocketbook, y'all. There is no such thing anymore.
I don't know why I'm
Wallet,
using that.
wallet.
Um, right, but like, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
there's the other way of thinking about that. This one's great, right? Is think about it in sandwiches. So how many sandwiches is $500 for this client, right? Because for me, a sandwich might be $18, right? Well, if this client makes 40 times more than me, then that's $800 a sandwich. So a house cleaning to some of our clients who are doing pretty well could just be a sandwich to me.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a little harder to wrap your head around.
Yeah. Especially
I've
because
never
most
thought of
people
it that way
have
before, but
never
that's a good
spent that much on a
explanation.
sandwich.
Oh, really? Sandwiches in Denver. Subway sandwich in Denver with tip, foot long is $15.
Yeah,
15 I can see. Yeah.
you've got some wage issue. I mean, you got a lot of.
It's an expensive city, right?
Yeah.
So this might not. We're pretty high cost of living. So
And I think it still works, even if it is a $15 sandwich or a $10 sandwich, still works.
yeah.
Right?
So have your niche, have your offer, check through your reviews, see what you're already really good at, what clients are already really receptive to, right? And sell them what they want. Hey, these guys are super communicative. I really love that compared to all these other services that I used. Hey, dig in, be communicative, right? We are the next step in our sales process is qualify the lead. We're targeting reoccurring residential house cleaning. And then we just listen, which I'm really excited for this event coming up at the end of this month because I think we could do even better here. But that's all we do, right? We have our value. We know what we offer. Clients will let you know. There's a couple prodding questions that we might ask, like, are you coming from another maid service? Tell me about your home. And I find that the longest term clients are the ones that we spent the most time on the phone with, which might not be like, when we say easy, I don't mean that initial phone call is going to be easy. I mean, we're going to set everything so well on that booking that everything that comes after it's going to be easy.
Overall, it's
Yeah.
going to be much easier to do business with us or with you than it is to do business with someone else.
Yeah.
We're going to make the house cleaning experience easy.
Exactly.
Maybe not each individual piece, right? We're going to sometimes some things are going to be a little bit harder, but the overall experience is going to be easier.
Yep. So we're just listening. We're listening for any pain points, any problems that we can solve. We're listening for any problems that we can't solve, right? So that we can create clear expectations and make sure that we're getting clients for life. And that's really the whole goal. We spend a lot of time on that phone call to get as thorough and detailed of a profile as we can.
A detailed site-specific scope of work.
Ooh, details.
He wants to be all professional.
Well, that's the way we present it in MaidCentral. I know that you're using MaidCentral, and I imagine you have really detailed work instructions.
Yeah, that's a good one. That I like how that comes off too, right? Like,
Sounds professional.
Yeah, absolutely. Really, and we do this for online bookings too. I know there are a lot of people who do online bookings and don't do phone follow-ups, and they're also very successful. I would love to know how they're doing that. but this is what works for us. Even if you book online, we're still going to call you and get all that info. And hey, look, we are easy if we can't get a hold of you, because sometimes we do get that, right? Like we're trying to relieve stress and people are like, I'm really busy. Like I can hear the stress in their voice and we're like, hey, it's okay. You know what? You're on the schedule. We're going to come out. We're going to figure it out. Right. And so we have an intake form for our maids, right? So we have multiple ways of getting this. We try a phone call. If phone call doesn't work, we try an email. If the email doesn't work, our maids go out and they get the info and we just get a I wrote this down, detailed site specific scope of work. And that's it. that's the initial sales process. And then all we have to do is just follow through. And the number one job for our maids is to create an awesome experience every single time. And what that means is we're always selling the experience, right? Like, are we going to provide the absolute most detailed cleaning every single time? I kind of hope so, but probably not,
Yeah.
right? But if we can provide the most awesome experience, right?
Yeah.
And just Liz, I think you would call them wow items. Like, let's always be doing wow items. Let's always be carrying the packages in and just care for this client and show them that we're here for them to take care of them, their home, their family, their pets. And we're going to be able to continue to sell them for the entire time that they're a client with us, increase that lifetime value. I could go on forever, but setting really good expectations up front just leads to a really good relationship.
Yeah.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
You know, that's where it is. The recurring revenue, high frequency recurring revenue. You want to sign up for at least every other week service. And,
I think
I also want to point out to your point, Chris, to make sure that everybody heard this piece. So talking about streamlining the sales cycle, how many times did he mention know what your core offering is, right? No, that's part of it. It's not, a lot of times people are like, yeah, but I want to do everything. He didn't say you can't do everything. He said, know what your core offering is, skew there all the time. If you have availability, sure, you can do some of this other stuff. If you don't have availability, you're still meeting your core obligations. So don't miss how important that piece is in the streamlining piece. I feel like I need to sign up for your services. Oh, you want her? Candace says you want her over.
Thanks, Candace.
Yeah.
I feel the same way about y'all. So I just so much respect for you guys and everybody on this call.
So if you want to get with Chris and get a much deeper dive into the concepts he's sharing here, he'd be glad to help you. Go to conquernow.com and check them out. Hit Chris up.
Yeah, get a free call. I'm around.
Oh, sorry, Tom.
No, I was going to say, if you want to meet Chris in person for a really awesome 2-day workshop in Fort Collins, Colorado, you can do that on the 30th and 31st of this month.
Help you out. Hopefully we'll see a bunch of y'all there. Well, I know we'll be seeing you, Chris. I'm excited.
I hope so. I've been on, like, I have Lily, my 10-week-old, and I have Jack, my almost 3-year-old. So I've been just hunkered down with them. This is the first event I'm going to go to in a long time, and I'm
hunkered down unless it's bedtime, in which case their night nanny is doing the heavy lifting.
Yeah, well, for one.
So Chris, I need you to make sure that you bring your phone with pictures. Because I know you're not sharing any other way. Yeah.
I promise. In fact, I'll go post a picture on Facebook right now because
I don't want to force you to
No, it's not just for you. It's for everybody. And
everybody wants to see.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that'd be good.
Especially babies.
In June 9th and 10th, come on out to Chicago to our ISSA residential regional event, followed by entire day workshop on artificial intelligence and how you can take back a bunch of tools to use in your business.
All right. I'm going to sign up for that right as soon as I get back from my eyelash appointment that I need to go to.
Eyelash appointment?
Yeah, my lashes are tragic. We're not going to get too close because, it's bad.
Okay.
As soon as I get back, that's what I'm doing now. Chris, thanks so much. Really appreciate it. Can't wait to see you soon. And just a couple of weeks here.
This was fun, Chris. We need to do this again. We can't wait for another pandemic to do this.
I've missed you guys. I agree.
Let's please not wait for another pandemic. Yeah.
let's just not do that again.
No, let's not do that. Yeah. All right. Talk soon, everybody.
See you next week, 5 o'clock Eastern. Bye-bye.